This is state. This is state. I talk about you being psychologically ready. The only way you're going to do that is if you keep hitting the routine. You have got to get it out of your mind that this is practice. This is not practice, this is state.
And our state champion in 5A, let's hear it for Lakeside!
In first place, make some noise for Lakeside.
We actually have a tie for second place. All right, Division 5A, a tie for second place. Please make some noise for these two teams. Sylvan Hills High School and Lakeside High School.
See this? Not happening. You see these? That's what we're getting this year.
After placing second at state, only their second loss in 18 years, August marks a new school year, but Lakeside Cheer has continued since May. The team has been working on creating their routine for competition.
Now we are working on putting all the pieces together and running the routine all together with hitting as many things as possible.
It was good, actually. It was probably one of the most productive practices we had. Even though Bella was sick, everyone else did their part.
I mean, we are running the full routine out, but we're not hitting everything or doing everything just yet. So I'm definitely concerned because it's been like that my 10th and 11th grade year. So I don't know what's going to happen this year. I've never experienced something like this.
With an inconsistent routine, their frustration and tension cause their team dynamic to change.
I just don't think people want to put in the work ethic for it this year. Once we start competing, like going to competitions, I think it'll all turn out well. But right now, it's just a really hard time for everyone wanting to come to practice because it's just actually so awful. It's terrible.
Everybody says they don't bring it into practice, but everybody obviously brings it into practice. And like the team, this sounds so mean, but we're all like super selfish. And like we all just bring in all the drama, and it doesn't really help like bond the team because our team isn't that close this year. But there was this one girl, she was claiming that one of her partners that she stunts with wasn't as strong as she needed to be. And she was like, oh, you're not strong enough to do this. And it just kind of like brought the whole team down, and everybody just like defended her.
Oh, you heard about that. Well, I think primarily most of the drama does stem from things like that, to where like the changes that are being made people don't always agree with, and it's difficult too having to adjust in such like a desperate time almost, you know, like we're so close to it being competition time, and it's like vital that we get everything down now. And a lot of times too, I feel like people make excuses for the drama that goes on. Like we'll have drama with, say, certain stunt groups, and people will try to justify it by saying, oh, well, they're just competitive and they want to win. But I don't think that excuses, you know, like treating people poorly or like calling them names or like talking bad about them behind their back. There's not really a way to justify that.
Our team dynamic wasn't the greatest. Like, we weren't all getting along and stuff.
With some stunt groups, they're like, oh, I don't want this person in my stunt group, so I'm not going to try because they did this to me outside of cheer. And they just bring it in, and it just makes the whole team just go down a lot faster.
Hey, Hayden, make sure you move one time to get to this spot. Hannah.
4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, good.
So we started running the full routine out 3 times every day during practice. And yesterday we had a really good practice.
We ran the routine 3 times all the way through, and we hit most everything. There were a couple stunts that didn't go, but it was the best run through we've done.
We're excited. We all started screaming after we hit because we were so excited.
Wasn't our best, but we're not going to be our best probably until early December.
She was happy, but she didn't really jump or act super excited because there were a lot of things that weren't like the best. So, I mean, she was proud of us for getting that far.
Running the routine is a major accomplishment, but frustration cannot always be hidden.
I don't know. I just get upset sometimes very easily, like I think most people do. am one of those people that cannot hide their emotions. Like I try to, but I just can't. I let it all show on my face. And I was probably being a little bit, you know, self-centered, just a little bit, because I wasn't very happy with the way that I was put inside of like the routine with the positions I was in and like where I was in the formation. But I think either way, it doesn't really matter because we're all gonna add up in the end. Like you're doing everything else like everyone else is doing. At least you're like doing it.
Competition cheerleading is a team sport. If stunts fall or tumbling doesn't go, the team could lose points.
Just one person can mess it up if they don't pull through all the way.
Catherine was point, and Catherine wasn't hitting the full up, so Coach Morton moved her back, which is kind of a big deal because usually the senior flyer is gonna be point. Like that's always been a tradition, and now it's not. Bella Shelley's the point flyer, and there's been a bunch of arguments about that on the team, and nobody's really getting along after that. And now Brooke is in front of our group, and our group has been hitting insane, super good, but Brooke's group hasn't really been hitting the full up. I mean, I think by the time competition comes, they'll hit the full up, and everything else is just everybody in the group's getting frustrated, and they can't really you can't do anything good when you're frustrated at all. And everybody's just getting mad, and they're you need to do this, you need to do that, but they're not really self-evaluating hey, I need to be doing this better. And everybody's just getting really frustrated.
If you would just listen to me and do what I tell you to do, we would easily win state. And we could have last year too, even with the 10-point legality.